Section 4.2, annuities. This first slide here, I have what is an annuity. You probably all have heard of these before. They might include home mortgages, savings accounts, car loans, so on and so forth. In this class, we're going to be looking at ordinary annuities that are certain and simple. And they're going to be based on these four criteria. We're going to be looking at, first of all, future value of an annuity. So future value, think about that. Maybe you don't have any money right now, but you want to save for the future. So an example would be a savings account. And this is the model that you could use just to plug in the numbers correctly and end up getting the future value of an annuity. All right, so let's look at our first example. All right, find the amount, future value, of each ordinary annuity. All right, so what I'm going to do here is first write down the model. So future value is S. All right, future value is S, and that's going to be equal to what? R times the quantity of what? Well, this quotient. 1 plus I to the nth power minus 1, all on top in the numerator, divided by I in the denominator. Okay, and I'm going to put a comma there. I'm going to write this down where I is the same thing it was in the previous section. I is the same as the interest rate R divided by M, which is the number of times the interest is compounded per year. And what else do we need to know? We need to know N still. N is exactly the same as what it was last time when we looked at compounding interest. And that's going to be M times T, where again, M is the number of times the interest is compounded per year, and T is time in years. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is look at this with the formula approach. And then I'm going to show you how to do it on your calculator. And I think most of you, I'm willing to bet, would rather do it on your calculator once you see how easy it'll be. But if you're a formula person, that's fine. You can use the formula method. Ultimately, it doesn't matter to me what route you take. So 4% per year compounded quarterly. So I is R over M. R, 4%. So 0.04. Okay. Compounded quarterly. M is 4. All right. And that's going to be to the power of N. N is what again? M times T. Okay. So what's M again? Well, it's quarterly. So that's a 4 up here. And time is 6 years. It's all in the exponent position. Take away 1. You'll always take away 1. And you're going to be dividing it by I again, which is going to be 0.04 over what? Over 4. Good. So you could run this whole thing through your calculator if you like, but it gets pretty involved. Let's see if I can do it. So 1,800 times the quantity of what? Well, I have this alpha y equals option, which I'm going to now use. So on top, I have what? The quantity of 1 plus 0.04 divided by 4 to the power of 4 times 6. Get out of the exponent position. Take 1 away from that. And then go down into the denominator. 0.04 divided by 4. Go all the way to the right, close quantity, hit enter, and there's your answer. All right. So if you were depositing $1,800, every 3 months or quarterly for 6 years, at this interest rate compounded quarterly, that's how much money you'd have in your account at the end of those 6 years. Okay, so let's write that down. $48,552, and again, round to the nearest cent, 24 cents. Okay, the next way I'm going to show you how to handle the exact same problem is with the financial app within your TI 83 or 84 calculator. Okay, so I'm going to do the exact same example again, but now I'm going to use an app that's built into our graphing calculator. So I'm going to hit the apps button right there, apps button, APPS right there, hit apps. And on my calculator, it's the first application that comes up. Number 1, finance. So hit enter. And then it's the first financial application that is already programmed by default into your calculator. That's TVM Solver. That's what we're looking for. TVM Solver, that's what we want to use. That's the time value of money. Time value of money. Hit enter. And this is going to be a menu-driven approach now to doing the same thing that this formula would do. All we have to learn here is how to enter the information. So N, look at that, N. What's N? Oh, it's M times T. That's still the same. Okay, so in this case, it was what? 4 times 6. Okay, hit enter. Interest rate. What was our interest rate? Well, it was 4%. So you make it 4. Now, don't enter it in as a decimal. Just enter it in as whatever it states as a percent. So this is already in terms of a percent. So 4%. Okay, is this a present value or future value problem? Well, we haven't even talked about present value yet. So this is going to be 0 because we're not looking at a present value problem yet. All right, we're looking at future value. Okay, the next thing is payment, PMT for payment. Well, payment is the amount of money you're depositing per whatever period in this annuity. In our case, it's $1,800. Now, a payment, think of it as money leaving your pocket, leaving your wallet. So you want this to be a negative then to indicate that it's going away from you and it's being deposited somewhere else. So use negative 1,800. That's going to be our payment. Future value is what we're going to be solving for, and I'll teach you how to do that in just a second. Okay, P per Y, C per Y. For us, they're always going to be the same for these ordinary annuities, okay? So payments per year. Well, in our case, it's quarterly. Quarterly, so that's going to be a 4. If you hit enter, notice by default, your calculator will make them the same. All right? So it's not only is it going to be 4 payments per year, we're compounding the interest 4 times per year as well. And the payment will always be made at the end of, whatever the period is. Okay, so in this case, every 3 months because it's quarterly. All right, so how do you actually determine the answer? We know this is the answer. All you have to do now, put your cursor on what you're trying to solve for, which is FV, and then do this. Hit alpha button right there. Again, cursor needs to be where you want to solve. FV for future value is what we're doing. Hit alpha, and then go down here and look what it says above the enter. Green solve. So hit alpha and then hit enter, and let's go back. It's magic. There's our answer, $48,550.24. That's what we thought it was. So I prefer to use the calculator app. It's nice, it's organized, it doesn't require me to enter all this stuff in that can get kind of, it can get kind of a lot if you're not real good with entering a bunch of information at one time. So I would prefer use the calculator method. All right, let's go on to another example.